So far, I've done videos on books, movies, and I've done some Q&As. But I recently started working as a journalist, and I realized just how many things happen around the world each day, each week, and how many of them just pass us by. The news that we get is fragmented, it's interpreted by others, and it's not given in a friendly format. So I wanted to centralize the major verified news of the week and give them to you in a friendly, listenable way. I hope you'll enjoy the video. Human rights advocates and organizations in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus were awarded the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize this week. The laureates promoted the right to criticize power and protect fundamental rights for citizens for years. The committee said that they demonstrated the significance of civil society for peace and democracy. They were also praised for their efforts to document war crimes, human rights abuses, and abuses of power. US President Joe Biden recently said Russia's President Vladimir Putin was not joking when he spoke of using tactical nuclear weapons after suffering setbacks in Ukraine. Ukraine has been retaking territories occupied by Russia, including in the 4 regions Russia illegally annexed recently. On Saturday, a bomb went off, destroying the bridge linking Russia and Crimea just as Putin turned 70 years old. For several months now, the US officials have been warning that Russia could resort to the use of weapons of mass destruction if it suffers setbacks on the battlefield. The US president added that the world is now the closest to a nuclear war since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. We'll stay with Biden for the next piece of news as well. This week, he pardoned all federal offenses of simple marijuana possession, a decision which will impact thousands of people. The president is therefore taking his first steps in decriminalizing marijuana, a former campaign promise. The announcement comes a month ahead of critical November elections that will determine control of the Congress. Projections have the Democrats, the president's party, losing control of the Congress. Inflation has risen to 83% this week in Turkey. The Turkish lira has steadily lost its value since 2013, but it has nosedived in the last year. In September 2021, $1 was worth around 8 Turkish lira, yet by October of this year it was worth nearly 19. Critics say that the central bank is to blame. When economies grow rapidly, like Turkey's has, interest rate rises are often used by central banks to cool down the economy. They do this by increasing the cost of borrowing money, which reduces economic activity. The Fed in the US and the ECB in the EU, for example, have done this to control the current levels of inflation. In Turkey, however, the opposite has happened. Interest rates have been kept very low by the Turkish central bank, leading the economy to spiral out of control. More than 2/3 of people in Turkey are now struggling to pay for food and cover their rent, according to one survey. In the 100 days since Roe v. Wade was overturned, 66 clinics in more than a dozen states have stopped working. They stopped providing abortions altogether. The figure was provided in a new report from an abortion rights advocacy and research group. As of this Wednesday, abortions are almost entirely unavailable in 14 states. These states were responsible for over 100,000 abortions in 2020. Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry on Wednesday called on the international community to help the Caribbean nation. A gang blockade of a key fuel terminal has created widespread shortages of goods, including drinking water. Over the weekend, authorities confirmed an outbreak of cholera, which is typically propagated by contaminated water. The fuel blockade began shortly after the Prime Minister's September 11 announcement that the government would no longer provide subsidies for fuel. The announcement triggered anger among Haitian people who are already struggling to pay for skyrocketing prices. Angelina Jolie filed a cross-complaint in a Los Angeles court accusing her ex-husband, Brad Pitt, of emotionally and physically abusing their children. The filing describes an incident that took place in September 2016, while the couple were flying back to California with their 6 children on a private plane. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face. Then he grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her, according to the document. Jolie filed for divorce in 2016, days after these events are alleged to have transpired. Her complaint, filed on Tuesday, is a part of a separate legal battle over a French winery that the couple used to own. Twitter's stock price shot up after the news agency Bloomberg reported that Elon Musk is open to going ahead with the deal that he reneged on in June. Musk is reportedly offering to buy Twitter for $44 billion in total, which was the original offer he made earlier this year. Twitter has been in the process of suing Musk since July after he terminated his deal to purchase the company.
I am leaving, Master.
The trial was set to begin on 17 October. Should Twitter now accept the terms that are outlined in the agreement, the trial would effectively end. Let's stay with Elon Musk. This week, he opened Tesla's AI Days by unveiling a prototype of a humanoid robot, which the company hopes to mass produce and sell for under $20,000. The robot's shape and function are inspired by human beings, but also draw on Tesla's car manufacturing expertise. Optimus, the robot, can walk, carry packages, water plants, and move objects, although not very well. The robot's power source is a battery embedded in its chest, and it is designed to be energy efficient. It also has a main board for artificial intelligence and a navigation system similar to the one in Tesla's autonomous cars. Since its premiere on September 21, the drama series Dahmer has made Netflix history. It has already become one of the streamer's most successful shows of all time. There was a total of almost 500 million hours watched, divided by the series' almost 9 hours of runtime. It has been concluded that 56 million households have seen the series in less than 2 weeks. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer took the lives of 17 people in the most gruesome ways. The show doesn't shy away from showing viewers what he did to the bodies of his victims after they died. Also this week, North Korea launched an intermediate-range ballistic missile over Japan. There were 2 more launches on Thursday, this time of short-range ballistic missiles, after the United States redeployed an aircraft carrier to the region and carried out joint military drills with South Korea. In a statement, South Korea's military strongly condemned the launches and said that they were a clear violation of United Nations Security Council resolutions. OPEC, the Organization of Oil Exporting Countries, agreed to reduce output by 2 million barrels a day, making its first big cut in more than 2 years. The decision comes in conflict with pressure from the US and Europe, which want OPEC to produce even more oil so that they can make up for the lack of Russian oil. 11 countries from the Middle East, Africa, and Latin America are part of OPEC, although the most influential member is thought to be Saudi Arabia. Technology giant Samsung has warned of a 32% slide in its profit as demand for electronic devices and the memory chips that power them shrinks. The drop is believed to be part of the coming economic slowdown. US chip maker AMD also said that it was hit by a fall in demand for computers. Sales of electronic devices of any kind have been hit as rising inflation, higher interest rates, and the impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine deter people from making purchases. Industry analysts predict that memory chip prices will continue to fall in the next 3 months as sales of smartphones continues to drop. This has been the first episode of Concise News. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.